Need some coins for that God Squad you've always wanted? For cheap and fast coins, check out redzonecoins.com, use code ZERK for 10% off your order, and get to building that God Squad.
The whole thing wobbin', wobbin'. When I come around, got the whole thing wobbin'.
What's going on, guys? It's Zerks coming at you today with another YouTube video, and today I want to go over the best chemistries to use in Madden 21. Now, I do want to give a shout out to Drew Hunt for being a part of the Noti Gang. If you guys want a chance to be shouted out in the next video, drop a like and vid, make sure you guys are subbed to the channel, turn the notification bell on, and comment down below Noti Gang. Now, I have had time now to play Madden 21 to go ahead and record a couple of gameplays and everything that you guys will see, I'm sure, over the next week or so, and we're going to get some new players. I'm going to continue to put out some more gameplays. If you haven't seen the Barry Sanders, yes, 93 Barry Sanders gameplay, go check it out. But I've had time to actually play the game, try to figure out somewhat of the meta. And I'm going to get asked a lot about this. What chemistries should you guys be running on offense and also on defense? Now, I know also there are like the speed chems, you know, like sprinter, all that stuff. I'm going to take a look at that at a later time because honestly, no one's really looking into that just yet because training is just so expensive. So when it gets more time to, a lot more people are actually using that, I'll make a video for that too. But let's talk about chemistries in Madden 21, and we should really talk about how the game actually is in Madden 21 as well with the gameplay. What's good, what's not so good, what should you focus on to actually improve? Chemistries really should be used to either two things. One, fix up your team whatever is bad on them, or two, really advance your team to hit over certain thresholds, to hit certain thresholds for, you know, zone, man, whatever, which currently we don't know the threshold, so that does change a little bit of stuff, but that's kind of why I'm here to go over what I think you should be doing currently until we kind of learn the thresholds and everything, but even still, I don't really think it's going to change much in terms of what I'm about to tell you today. So there is a bit of a difference between chemistry in Madden 20 and chemistry in Madden 21. Now you guys can see I have my 86 Ezekiel Elliott here. You do not need to power up a card to be able to add chemistry onto them, but from what I know, and I've checked this, 87 overall is when you actually unlock ×2 chems on players. So just keep that in mind. That is how you get ×2 to things like balance zone and everything like that. But I'm showing you ×1 over here on Zeke, and we'll get into ×2 stuff. But it's obviously very important to note that 87 overall is when you get the ×2 because that changes a lot with chemistries. As you guys can see right here, tier number 1 requires 5 components, aka 5 players with this. Right now, of course, every single player instantly gets balanced O. But the big difference here between chemistries this year and last year, as you guys can see, if I scroll all the way down here, it actually goes up to 50 players, and at 50, you can see you get certain things. Like at balanced O, you get +2 awareness and +2 stamina, okay? Now, to be completely honest with you guys, stamina's pretty big right now. If you haven't seen the Barry Sanders gameplay, after about 3 runs, he is hunched over, dead tired. He is definitely coming out. If he's not already out, he is coming out the next play. Stamina is really, really low on every single play right now, especially offensively. You see them getting subbed out a lot. Running backs, I've noticed some wide receivers getting subbed out quite a bit as well. I had Barry on like a kickoff, and then like a 2-yard run, and then a long run, and on the long run, he actually got caught. So that's just how bad stamina is right now. So stamina is pretty important, I will say that. But when it comes to getting the 50 components, right? Let's say that you have every single position filled on offense and every single position filled on defense right now. And that would mean all 25 positions. I'm talking quarterback 1, 2, running backs all the way through 3, 2 fullbacks, 3 tight ends, all backup linemen and starters, and all 5 wide receivers. That's 25 total players. You would need all of them to be 87 plus to get 50 components right now. So it's just not possible to do at all. There's not even that many 87 overall players in the game. So it's just not possible to go ahead and do. So with that being said, I don't think that right now is really the time to be looking at the 50 components. I will say at a later time, I'm definitely going to make an updated video, you know, once we get more 87 overall players and everything in the game. But for now, we need to focus on what's important in the game right now. So a big thing when it comes to offense, currently, everyone is looking at speed, right? Everyone wants to get Tyreek Hill. Everyone has Henry Ruggs. Everyone's looking at the speedy running backs. Everyone's looking at the speedy wide receivers. A lot of people have Lamar Jackson. So what really is important to run an offense? Should you run balanced O? Because at balanced O, you know, you get +2 to a lot of different things. You get +2 to say, you know, throw power, which is pretty good. The issue is you don't get plus 2 to 45 players, so not really the biggest help when it comes to throw power. In my opinion right now, and what I am personally going to be doing when it comes to running backs, fullbacks, and my starting offensive linemen is I'm going to be running zone run. Now, let me explain why I'm going to be running zone run for you guys. The reason I'm running zone run on players, and I have actually calculated this out when it comes to my offense, right, with the abilities, the players that I currently have anyways, the chemistries I'll be able to go ahead and get, I'm going to be able to get to tier 3 right now because of the different players that I have. I don't have a ton of 87 overall players, 87 plus anyways, but I do have a decent amount of O-linemen that are 87 plus. So with zone run, I'm going to get that to tier 3. That means I'm getting plus 2 to juke move. I'm getting plus 2 to carrying. I am getting a plus 2 to run block finesse, and I'm also going to be getting a plus 1 to lead block. I'm going to be getting a plus 1 to run block, spin move, impact block, break tackle, and ball carry vision. That is pretty big right now. Now, aside from that, if we continue on here, you continue to get break tackle, carry, spin, juke. In my opinion, I feel like zone run is pretty key because right now, obviously, and with how Madden 21 is, the skill stick mechanic, I mean, Barry Sanders was the first MasterCard. You think they did that because they think it's going to be a trucking back year? No. They know it's a juking year. It is definitely a juking type of year with the new skill stick mechanic. So what better than zone run to improve that? To get the juking, to get the spinning, to get the carrying, the break tackle, the run block. Power run, it's cool if you use a power running back, but I don't really think it's the year of the power running backs. I think it definitely is the year of the juking style of backs, and I think zone run is pretty important because the run game is not really all that great in Madden 21. It's not like that bad. It's better than it was in the beta, and depending on if you have a good enough running back, you can definitely gash some holes up. So zone run, I feel like, is pretty good to put on your running backs, your starting offensive linemen, and your fullbacks, but that is it. And the reason why I say that's it is because I feel like a absolute need is go deep. I'm going to be putting go deep on my quarterbacks. I'm going to be putting go deep on my wide receivers, my tight ends, all 3 of them, of course, and backup O-linemen, right? I'm going to go ahead and pick up some gold offensive linemen, throw them in at backup because, of course, they never actually get into the game, and I will put some chems on them to get it up. And if I do that again, I am also going to be able to get to tier 3 with go deep. As I said, a big thing in the game right now is speed. Everyone wants speed, and a lot of people have Lamar Jackson. Now, Lamar doesn't have terrible throw power, but he doesn't have Mahomes' 88. He doesn't have Josh Allen's 89. Lamar Jackson has got an 85 throw power with 78 deep. Now, as I said, I'm going to be able to get this to tier 3, which means I'll get 1 throw power and another throw power there in tier 3. So I'll get plus 2 to throw power, bringing him up to 87. Now, of course, that's big because it opens up the playbook a little bit more. And I'm going to be completely honest with you guys, I probably plan to keep go deep and zone run on the entire year. I don't think I'm going to stick with something like balanced O or commit fully to zone run, commit fully to go deep for a team just to come all the way down here to get the 50 out of 50 earlier in the year and get the plus 2 awareness, plus 2 stamina. I think it's better to actually get what you really need on your team. I think it's better to have your running backs be able to juke more, your offensive linemen be able to block more, and then your receivers, you be able to go deep more because obviously if you have higher throw power, if you have better deep route running, if you have better beat press, better pass blocking, better spectacular catch, you're obviously going to be able to throw the ball down the field more and also throw under pressure. That's a big thing this year because under pressure throws are actually quicker. Your quarterback goes ahead and he actually throws the ball a little bit quicker, and the pass may be a little bit more inaccurate if he senses the pressure that's there. So that is all around big, and like I said, everyone right now wants to get the Tyreek Hills, the Henry Ruggs. Well, if you don't have Mahomes or Josh Allen, and you're trying to throw deep with, say, Lamar Jackson, yeah, a lot of the time you can't throw 40 yards down the field. You can't throw 50 yards down the field, so you can't really take advantage of having all of those absolute track stars out there because your pass is going to be underthrown, it's going to be intercepted. That's why I feel like right now, go deep is absolutely necessary for offenses. Last year I actually said West Coast was a little bit better, and I think it was pretty good for a majority of the year, but I feel like go deep I'm definitely going to stick with, especially with the way that the Madden meta usually is, with scrambling quarterbacks being good. They don't always tend to give Lamar Jackson or a lot of scrambling quarterbacks like the highest throw power in the game, with the exception of Michael Vick, and of course Lamar Jackson towards the end of the year when he gets those higher overall cards. So then we'll take a look at other stuff like West Coast, where you can get, short accuracy, throw under pressure, stuff like that a little bit more once they start to kind of juice up the throw power, the spec catch on players. But for now, I feel like that is perfect for offense. Go deep and zone run. Now onto the defense side of the ball. Now guys, this is pretty key right here. You can see I have Asante Samuels on my team. He has 90 zone coverage and an 83 man coverage, right? Now we don't know the thresholds yet, but the 90 zone is actually pretty key for this because we don't know what it is exactly. But I'm going to guess that the thresholds are probably around 90 to 91, more than likely for like the elite tier thresholds. That's around the range that we've seen it the past couple of years. Maybe it's even lower. Maybe it's 89, 88, 92. We don't know exactly, but just keep in mind Asante Samuels right now has got 90 zone. So when it comes to the secondary players and in general the defense, again, I looked at it. How should I do this? Looking at all these different chemistries and trying to decide, okay, we know what's good in Madden 21. We know that people like to pass the ball. We know there's not a lot of pass rush. And we know that people like to go deep. And we obviously right now don't know the threshold. And we need our players to cover better. So, what I've decided on is that, again, I was taking a look at Balance D. You could throw Balance D on, but here's the thing again. There's no way to get 50 out of 50 anyways. However, yes, I know that Balance D is free with going with tier 1 if you want to, but obviously you want to try to get times 2. You can get more of the tiers unlocked. Here's the thing though, right? So for me personally, again, I can get tier 3 of, if I want to split it up between cornerbacks and pass rushers. I also like to put certain chemistries on my linebackers that I put on my secondary because I like them having coverage, but my outside linebackers I have as pass rushers. So I go with usually a pass rush chem on them, right? So what I've decided to do this year is I'm going to split it up again like I did last year. I am going to go with lockdown on my safeties, on my middle linebackers, and on my cornerbacks. Now the reason I'm going to be doing this is because of zone thresholds, the big thing, but also I feel like man coverage is really, really good this year. I've seen a lot of people running like man press, and it really seems to work out well. But if you want to try to hit that zone coverage threshold as well, here's the thing. Let's say you can get to tier 3 for lockdown, right? So I can get +1 zone at tier number 1 and another +1 zone at tier number 3. That is +2 zone coverage. Also get +2 to press and +2 to catching with +1 man, +1 tackle, and +1 player. That's pretty big. Now, let's say I wanted to go with Balance D, right? Which is the big one I was taking a look at. Let's say I decide to go with Balance D for all my players, so I can get up to 30 total players. Now, if we take a look here, you get 1 man coverage at tier number 3, you get 1 zone at tier number 4, and you don't get another man or zone here. So instead of getting just 1 man and 1 zone coverage here in Balance D, if you want to go with the 30 players there, if you go with lockdown with your corners and your secondary, whatever, your middle linebackers, if you can get it to 15, you at least do get +2 to zone and +2 to press, which we don't know the thresholds yet. But Asante Samuel with 92 zone, when I get the +2 zone coverage boost on him, I'd hope that's an elite tier threshold. And as I said, guys, I am going to be splitting it up again. So what is kind of big in Madden 21? It's not really the run game. The run game is not all that crazy, which is why I'm adding zone run and offense. I am going to go with my outside linebackers because I'm in a 3-4 defense, my right outside linebacker, and my entire defensive line, I'm putting pass rush on them, of course, because I can get that to tier 3 as well. You can see I get +1 power move at tier 1, +1 power move at tier 3, and a finesse move at tier 2. So I have +2 power move and +1 finesse move right now, which is pretty big. Also, I'll get +2 to impact block, and I'll also get +2 to pursuit, and then I get a press, which doesn't really affect much for pass rush, not sure really why it's in there, and then 1 catching as well. So that is what I'm personally going to be doing, guys, with my chemistries. I'm going to be running pass rush on my linebackers, my pass rush and linebackers anyways, and my defensive linemen, and in my secondary middle linebackers, I'm running lockdown offensively, zone run on the running backs, fullbacks, O-linemen, and go deep everywhere else. Wanted to give you guys an explanation of what I'm going to be doing. Let me know down below what you guys think. Are you going to do the same thing as me? You're going to mix it up a little bit? Let me know down below, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure you guys drop a like on the video, and of course hit that sub button down below. I'll see you guys next time.